click the link in the lesson description below to get your back-to-school conversation cheat sheet, the top 10 sentence patterns for beginners, and learn the must-know travel preparation phrases. Access your gifts right now before they expire.
Hi everyone, I'm Jae-hee. Welcome back to Korean Top Words. In this lesson, you'll learn top 10 phrases for surviving back to school. Let's begin. 책가방, backpack. 책가방, backpack. So here we have two words, 책 meaning books and 가방 means a bag. So altogether it means backpack, like a bag for kids to go to school. I remember my first backpack, which was very hard. Like I could only put 3 books inside the backpack, but it was heavy. So I remember I really didn't like to bring the backpack to school because it's too heavy. But these days you can find a lot of light backpack in Korea, although it seems like high school students want to get a backpack in a very specific brand. So you can see many people wearing the same design backpack but in different colors. So using that word, you can say 매일 밤 책가방을 싸요. I pack my backpack every night. 반 친구, classmate. 반 친구, classmate. So 반 means class, 친구 means friends. So altogether you can say 반 친구. My high school was kind of big, but I have one friend whom I could be in the same class for like 3 years in my high school. And we still talk each other and see each other. But that's a very exceptional case because every year you receive different classmates. So in that case, we can say 매년 반 친구들이 바뀝니다. Each year, classmates change. 숙제, homework. 숙제, homework. I think 숙제 literally means homework, like 숙제, doing something at home. So using that word, you can say 숙제 다 했어? Did you do all the homework? 시험, exam. 시험, exam. There are a lot of exams in a school in South Korea. I remember like in high school because I was about to take the test to get into the college. I remember I had to take nationwide test almost every month to see where I am. It's not an official test, but almost all students at a high school around the time, like they just take the test on the same date, and it's going to let you know you're on the rank something in the country. So it's not kind of the test that I really enjoyed, but exam that I had to do. The biggest exam that we have in South Korea is called 수능. That is the exam to go to the college. So you have to take it in November on your 3rd year in high school. And then it happens only once a year. So if you don't do that well, then you have to wait for another year and take that again. So probably after taking that test, your friend might ask you, 시험 잘 봤어? Did you do well on the exam? 여름방학, summer break. 여름방학, summer break. In Korea, a semester starts from March and it ends in February. So 여름방학, summer breaks, is placed in the middle of school year. So it's only like 1.5 months. It's not that long. So using that word, you can say 여름방학에 한국을 방문할 거예요. I'll visit Korea during the summer break. But like in high school, people usually study during the summer break. So in that case, you can say 여름방학에 공부를 할 거예요. I will study during the summer break. 학교, school. 학교, school. There are 4 different types of schools in Korea in general, like 초등학교, elementary school, 중학교, middle school or junior high, and 고등학교, high school, and 대학교, college or university. So using that word 학교, you can say 학교에서 공부를 합니다. I study in school. 공부하다, to study. 공부하다, to study. I think you're watching this video because you're studying Korean. So in that case, you can say 매일 한국어를 공부해요. I study Korean every day. 개학 첫날입니다. It's the first day of class. 개학 첫날입니다. It's the first day of class. So 개학 literally means the opening of a school, like a beginning of the school year. And 첫날 means the very first day. I remember I didn't like that 개학 첫날 because that's the beginning of the school year. But you know, that's what you have to do. You can also say 방학 첫날, the first day of a vacation, to say 방학 첫날입니다. It's the first day of a vacation. 우리 같은 반이야. We are in the same class. 우리 같은 반이야. We are in the same class. There might be some friends that you want to be in the same class again and again. So in that case, so if you find out that your friend is going to be the same class, you can just say 우리 같은 반이야. We are in the same class. You can also use that if you're in a language school, because language school might have different classes. So if you see your friend in the same class, then you can say 우리 같은 반이야. 무슨 수업 들어? What classes are you taking? 무슨 수업 들어? What classes are you taking? So 수업 means class. In Korea, like in junior high, high school, up to high school, it's not common to choose your lessons. Like basically your class will have the same time schedule. So basically your class will have the same schedule because you don't have to move your classrooms in general. Like you just have to stay in the same place and teachers will come to your class. So your timetable is really scheduled and there's no way that you can choose different classes. So probably you hear this when you are at a college, because then you can choose any classes that you want to take. So in that case, you can ask, 무슨 수업 들어? What classes are you taking? So we just checked 10 phrases of surviving back to school. I hope you like some of the words. Make sure to subscribe and I'll see you next time. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요.